Hey guys, Colbert here. Welcome to another Racial Learns video. Guys, today we're going to be on my free brew account and I'm going to show you the team that I use for clan boss. Going to take you down through the list of the champions that I use, how I've built them and how you can build them as a free to play player or even a low spending player. You can go with this build even if you don't have a counter attacker and achieve up to, a 2-key nightmare clan boss key. So first up, let's just go in the clan boss and I'll show you the team. And then we'll go over their gears just so you see how much damage they can do. So this one is magic affinity, so it's gonna be a little bit bad for me just because of the bad affinity for my iron brago. So currently I have 2 keys on it, 36.39 million damage on the boss, and my team is not fully optimized. As you can see, not everybody has 6-star ascension. That's on purpose. I didn't ascend them because of the arbitrary missions that are coming. So let's just go in there and you'll see how this team works. It's basically just a speed team using Apothecary and the strength of Apothecary to make your team go as many times as possible before the boss, and then just utilize all of their skills as many times as possible so that you can get, the maximum amount of damage that you can. So how the clan boss works is when he's under 50% HP, he becomes a different affinity each time. It's not always magic, for example. And when this happens, he also hits way more than before just because he does a double attack compared to when he is void affinity. So right now you see that this team is pretty much going the way that they are depending on their speed. So first up, Apothecary goes first, then Godseeker goes second, which I'm just using an auto attack there, and then I just press auto and everybody does what they're supposed to do. So Iron Brago here is the man that is carrying the team in terms of providing that defense up and attack down to the boss. Being weak affinity here means that he can possibly do a weak hit on his attack down. So this key might not be a 3 key even. I don't know about a 2 key. I don't think I'll do a 2 key with this one, but we are neutral affinity with 2 of the champions here. Neutral on whichever affinity with Godseeker and strong affinity with Althar because he is forced. So here all our damage is coming out of the champions that provide that poison. So the strongest poison champion right now, and compared to how available she is Frozen Banshee. Frozen Banshee is a champion that I picked up from a mystery shard. You can just keep opening mystery shards. Eventually you should be able to get a rare like that. I know it's very hard to actually target and pick up a rare. That's not how it works, I know, but as long as you keep opening those mystery shards, you might get lucky. The same thing goes for Apothecary in terms of picking him up. Althar is a great poisoner. There's many others that do a good amount of poisons on the clan boss. For example, a cold brawler does even better job compared to an Althar, if you ask me, just because he does a little bit harder hits with his attack compared to Althar. So Althar recently got buffed also, so he does a few more poisons instead from before. Before he used to do his A3 also on the boss, but now he just does his A2. So here we are already 12 million in to the clan boss. You see my team is a totally free to play team. If you are watching every day my videos on the free brew series, you see the constant progress on my account and how I go over gearing each and every one of my champions for the clan boss and also using them for dungeons progression as well. So here the important thing is have everyone be as tanky as possible. That's the most important thing. It's very simple if you think about it, but it works. And many people see a champion, he's an attack based champion, I should go attack on them. No, that's not how it works for the clan boss. Especially even if they are attack based, you should go defensive on them because you need them to survive way longer. A dead champion will do 0 damage compared to a champion with 3000 attack and 1000 defense. So better have your champion survive a few more turns than have them do a little bit more damage but not survive those turns. If you ask me, that's it. So already we are in 3 key territory, turn count 18. This is where the clan boss will be doing way more damage, and where Godseeker actually becomes way more important for everything else. So in my opinion, if you can reach this point, a 3 key, then going for a 2 key is just stretching out the gear that you have on all your champions. 3 key should be the ideal goal for a beginner. in Raid Shadow Legends, especially for Nightmare Clan boss. It means you can go for a 1 key on the Brutal Clan boss as well. Get those double rewards every single day. The 2 key is way harder, and you can have that as a goal a bit later on. So look at this, 16.6 million damage, and we just totally wipe here. And you see 5.7 million on Frozen Banshee. And Godseeker does a 1.7, Iron Brago 1.1, he's weak affinity here. Apothecary with a 1.4, and Althar strong affinity with a 6.7 million damage. So fantastic 3 key territory, and you see that I'm way over the limit to get the final ultimate chest, which actually can give you a sacred shard at about a 6% chance. And I think it's the same chance for a legendary skill book, but you know, the sacreds are the most important ones. And I did pick up one a couple of days ago through, you know, the Nightmare chest. So let's go over the gear of each and every champion and their masteries very quickly. So Iron Brago, first of all, every one of them has a lifesteal set except for Apothecary. So Iron Brago here with a lifesteal set, as many items as I can are level 16, and you're gonna see that this item is a common item, guys. This one I picked up from the campaign, just farming my champions in the campaign and picking up common items with a defensive primary substat, primary stat, and then the substats being defense or HP percent. These are very good for the clan boss because they provide more, you know, defensive stats to your champion. So speed, defense, HP percent are much better than critical damage would be for Iron Brago, but you can choose them. So defense percent there, defense percent on the chest with speed, as many substats as possible for your items. Going speed primary on the boots, so having an over 170 speed here is essential if you ask me. So thing is, I do have an Apothecary, so I could have gone defense percentage boots on Iron Brago instead, but these boots already have a pretty good amount of accuracy, and I'm very low on accuracy on Iron Brago already. I'm at a 182 accuracy, which is why I have the Frozen Banshee in the leader slot. So you can see my Iron Brago, how tanky he is. 4,312 defense. This is very important to have your Iron Brago, if you do have one, as tanky as possible, because he also gives a 10% boost to your whole team based on his own defense. And then for the masteries, of course, going War Master or any champion that you do have equipped with the lifesteal set is essential because they need to heal back up very fast. And this happens with a War Master because this does a percent HP damage for the enemy. This will happen not on an every attack basis. It has a 60% chance to happen, but it's still you know, good enough to heal you up to full because you also have Apothecary in the team. I went defensive route on him instead of going support route. Support route is good if you're lacking the accuracy, and if you do want to get Master Hexer and want to extend the duration of your attack down, that's your choice. But I personally went this route, defensive route, just to get those extra attacks in with Retribution instead of going the extra 1 turn chance to extend the duration of his attack down. Next up is Althar. He's built again with a lifesteal set. It's broken lifesteal set means I do have a, you know, relentless set and a perception set here. I was trying to get as many defensive subsets again as possible while also maintaining a defense percent primary on the gloves and trying to get it on the chest. But because my accuracy was so low, I went for an accuracy chest here, which brought my defense very low. Look at this. I have a 2.7k defense on Nightmare Clan boss. This means it's gonna be very hard for me to transfer to Ultra Nightmare with these current stats. So going forward, what I would be doing is replacing that chest plate with a defense percent chest plate, and then going for a banner with an accuracy instead of defense. So here the defense kind of counters that chest plate, but it's better to have the defense percent instead of having these flat defense right here. So overall, my Althar is built here to take as many turns as possible with as much speed as I can, while also maintaining high defense for a champion with an 800 defense. You know, flat. He gains some defense from Iron Brago, but the important thing is for also him being able to land his debuffs with a 214 accuracy. Next up, his masteries are very similar to what Iron Brago has, but instead Althar goes for Giant Slayer just because his A2 can do a multiple hit on the boss, and that can actually proc multiple Giant Slayers, which is essential if you ask me to get those big numbers with Althar plus his poison damage. On the support tree, I went for a little luck there with Cycle of Magic, just because I wouldn't benefit at all from Lore of Steel. I went for Cycle of Magic. It doesn't change anything on Althar in terms of his speed tunes. And then also Evil Eye, because I do use Althar in many of my dungeon teams, and I need that terminator reduction. And Master Hexer, of course, for the chance to extend the duration of his poisons. That's it for Althar. Next up is Apothecary, the champion that everyone is looking for when they start out their account. Very, very important to have your Apothecary, again, as tanky as possible if you can. You will see that I have a defense percent, gloves, and an HP percent chest plate right here. The reason is I just don't have the defensive stats at the moment for my Apothecary, but for the time that I've been playing this free-to-play account, I've been trying to farm these. I would rather go with the plus 11 speed chest plate right here with an HP percent instead of going for a defense percent without any speed on it, just because if Apothecary can go 3 or 4 times compared to all my other champions with his boost, then he will be just speed boosting everyone more often and also providing that healing support wherever that's needed. So 262 speed right here. Very, very important to have as much speed as possible, and that's why I'm also doing faction wars all the time on my free-to-play account. Of course, speed primary here, focusing on getting good substats. Look at that defense percent substat on the boots, and of course trying to get defensive substats on all the other items as well, and even have a defensive primary banner here on my Apothecary. His skills are of course all maxed out, and then masteries, I do have Giant Slayer for him. I don't have his masteries fully maxed out because he doesn't benefit at all from anything right here. He would benefit a little bit from Methodical, but that's about a 10% damage to his hits on his default skill. Wouldn't bring that much damage compared to, you know, the loss of energy that will be me farming more masteries for Apothecary. I could also go Spirit Haste for him for getting speed whenever an ally dies, but that's not really needed since I don't want my allies to be dying. And just recently I got a reviver, so I don't really need that. So I went this route instead for Apothecary, getting Giant Slayer. And then in the support tree, I just got every single mastery that benefits him, including Rapid Response, just so he can get that extra turn meter when a buff cast by him is removed or expires, while also gaining Lore of Steel, because that gives him a good amount of speed. And you can actually check that when you go right here. You go to his total stats, you see just through the masteries he gains a +6 speed, just because he has 3 speed sets on him, and they give you a 2 speed bonus just because of that Lore of Steel mastery for each set that you have on. So ideally in the future I'll also level these items up, but because they're 4 stars, I haven't done that on a priority basis. I went for my 6 stars and 5-star items first, and then maybe, unless something, you know, is really urgent, I really want these items to be level 16, that's when I'll do them. Currently there's no need for these. I do a 3-key nightmare almost every single day. Sometimes I even do you know, a 2-key with this team, so I just keep these where they are. Next up is God Security. You guys would say that God Security may be the reason that I am getting the numbers that I'm getting on Clan Boss, but she is honestly not the reason. She is the reason that I got a 2-key, but not a 3-key. The 3-key was achievable way before her. I did use other champions before that. I did use Saito, but now he is my arena nuker. So God Security, again, lifesteal set, focusing on defensive primary on the chest plate and gloves, while also gaining a lot of speed. So 198 on her speed, very, very fast, with a 3.3k defense. That goes even more with Iron Brago. I didn't go for any accuracy, although she can reduce the duration of buffs on her A2. No 6-star ascension just yet. That will be in the future. But ideally, I would have a defensive banner, defensive amulet, and a defensive ring. On her masteries, I went for War Master and even went for Stoke to Fury just to get her to do a little bit more damage when she does get a debuff on her. But wasn't really focusing on getting damage substats on her. Focused more on getting speed and defense on her, and while also going the support tree right here, just getting those extra healing stats on her. If I get a few more masteries on her, I'll go for Spirit Haste instead of this one. Lasting Gifts, that doesn't help her at all. Spirit Haste is way better because her allies do die, especially if someone dies and she doesn't have her passive revive. She will need to take a turn eventually and get that revive going, which also resets cooldowns for your allies. Rise of Glory, this is just great. And then finally, Frozen Banshee is again a lifesteal set with a speed set, also gaining over 170 speed, 158 accuracy. This is very low. I'm trying to get it up, and this is why she is in the leader slot in my teams. I have her in the leader slot just because she gives a 35 accuracy boost. I do have a defensive primary here on the gloves. This is again an item from the campaign. This is a common item, still level 12, but if I don't find any items from the dragon anytime soon, I'll level this to 16 because it's definitely worth having that little boost on her defense, just so that she can have maybe a bit higher than 2,124 defense and maybe surviving a little bit longer. She's of course maxed out because she's worth it. And then Mastery is very similar to what my author has, but instead of going Cycle of Magic, I went for Lore of Steel because she does have that speed set on her, which actually benefits her. Of course, Evil Eye for dungeons, for Ice Golem 20 actually, and then Master Hexer to extend the duration of her debuffs. So this is my team, guys. Totally free to play, totally doable by each and every one of you. I know that Godseeker Neri is not doable. Maybe something else that does provide additional support to Apothecary, or again a damage dealer can bring you to that 3-key territory. Very important. If you did have Iron Brago this year, you managed to get that fusion, you should implement him in your teams. You're not gonna be regretting that. I did not regret using all my legendary skill books on this guy for my free-to-play account. So guys, if you like this video and you want to see more videos of this, I do a daily video update on my free-to-play account. If you are a subscriber, you're gonna see the videos loading up every single day. I have a thumbnail that looks very similar every single day so that people know to click on it and see the daily updates. And many people watch it every single day because they're interested in seeing the daily progress and and thinking behind every single upgrade that I do to my champions and how they can do that for their own account. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.